I can't believe it. I left the camera this morning when I left the house. And it sucked because I was in a hurry to get to work and I was up late last night. I left it attached to the computer and I forgot to take it today, and it so sucked because probably about, hold on, let me think for a second. Probably about 13 police cars and one undercover police white Ford F-150 just came screaming by the front of the shop today. Apparently somebody had robbed a post office. That's stupid because that's a federal offense. Anyway, and a hardware store. So, yeah, look for it in the news tonight. And let me ask you guys a question. Post this in the comments. It has nothing to do with Halloween or anything, but what the hell. How many times across the country do you guys hear about things happening in Lakewood, Washington? Because things always happen here, bad things. I wanted to mention this last night, but I didn't want to ramble on like I'm doing right now. Home Haunt News is coming out with a new new online magazine July 15th, and they are wanting us to send them our stuff. So anyway, I'll let you guys kind of read this if you can, and I'll read it anyway in case you can't see it. Dedicated to the home haunter, home haunters news and reviews with how-to guides, makeup tricks, party ideas, and everything else related to home haunting. They're currently looking for submissions for inclusion in the special issue. They want pictures, home haunt story, tutorials, how-to, or anything that you think our readers would like to see. So you guys go to www.homehauntnews.com, or you can like them on Facebook at www.facebook.com/homehauntnews. Alright, so the boring stuff's out of the way. Well, maybe that's not boring. Some of you might find that awesome. Amongst the other stuff that I have to do today, a couple different things. First of all, trimming the office. It's now dry. It's ready to be put up. I'm going to put that up, possibly cut a few more. But the tombstone from the other day is done drying, so now I've got two of them there. That's the third one that I was working on. And maybe I didn't show this to you guys. I'm not sure if I showed it to you guys or not. Anyway, so I started cutting out the shape of the back for that third one. And I've got 4 more to do. And, you know, as far as like generic store-bought tombstones go, I don't buy them unless they're like really cool. Except for the one. Maybe I was given that one. Anyway, so take a look at this. So we've got this one, the Rest in Peace. I really like this one, the design and whatnot. This one here is also cool. And take a look what the crows did in the front yard. They kind of like ate away and pecked at his skull. I'm moving this one. And then this one here is just like a ultra cheap. I don't remember getting that one, but whatever. This is my favorite. And if you guys remember the vlogs, then you'll remember this one. And this one here is Vlad Dracula. However, I mean, this tombstone is so cool. But I was in the same boat that you guys are. It's like, well, what the hell does that say down there, right? Especially at nighttime in the front yard. So, on one side of it, I went and painted it so that you can actually see it. So how cool is that?
A fierce warrior who drank the blood of his enemies, he died violently in battle. His head was never found.
So anyway, cool stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna continue on with that. And then do the household stuff I need to get done. So honestly, not much is going to get done today. But you guys don't want to know that. You want to see progress. So let me get some progress done. I told you guys before. I'll tell you again. This is why I never get anything completely done. Okay, so yeah, I've got more trim cut and painted with the first coat. Oh well. And yes, move baby. I've also got the trim hung by the door with care. And yes, I've trimmed off just, you know, enough so that I can get the foam cutter around. So I started thinking about it. And it started gnawing at me because I haven't got a lot of video for today. And so it's like, okay, fine. I'll show, you know, the foam cutting of the tombstone. And then I got to thinking about it. It's like, well, that's kind of boring. And if I show it in high speed, I don't really have the editing skills right now to dub in sound, and of course I don't want to use any music because I don't want YouTube to flip out about copyright, blah blah blah. So this is what I was thinking. I'm like, wow, what about those Bud Light commercials? You know, real men of genius? Alright, so again, I go back to this is why I never get anything done. If it works, and it's going to be rustic and crude and rude, but if it works, you'll see it right now.
Bud Light presents Real Men of Genius.
Real men of genius.
Bud Light salutes you, Mr. and Mrs. Hot Wire Foam Cutter Creator.
Mr. and Mrs. Hot Wire Foam Cutter Creator.
Without you, us haunters would have lungs full of blue and pink styrene.
Call me a doctor.
Instead of being covered in blankets of electrically charged static-type particles, you, Mr. and Mrs. Cutter, have allowed us to breathe in a new smell that just says Halloween. With a wire that's too hot to touch.
It's really, really hot.
Because of you, we now have the tool to make spookier graveyard scenes, scare the candy out of the tots and the bodily fluids out of the adults. So crack open an ice-cold Bud Light, Mr. and Mrs. Hotwire, and let your hands do the carving.
And done. So, I hope you guys like that. And honestly, at this point right now, I don't know how it's going to turn out. Because I haven't done it yet. But I needed to get the video footage so that I could do it. So, you guys just saw it. I just cut the spoof. The singing, I know, horrible, but I'm under a time constraint. So I hope you enjoyed it, got a kick out of it. And everybody, happy haunting, and this Bud's for you.